All right. Hey everybody, this is DayTraderRockStar, and this is a little overnight session. We're going to do a little market radar. We're going to talk some research tonight, and we're going to basically have a good time. So, just discussing with Viljar in the room here, he was looking at maybe he's bought some puts today in the market, all right? And he put out a chart. I had Viljar's chart up before. I don't know where it is now. If I can find it, I'll bring it back up, but I can't. See if it's on this one. Oh, maybe I have it here. Hold on. Shoot. All right, so here's your chart, Viljar, and you can see a lot of lines. I was asking what all these lines are. Those squiggly lines. Everyone looks at a different way of looking at charts. This is very busy. In my, I do see he has stochastics on the bottom. Looks like it. Something similar to that. I would hope he has stochastics on the bottom. He has a lot of trend lines, and again, it's funny looking at someone else's charts. So again, we look at this chart. I see that downward channel line. We broke out, but I think this is the more important trend line up here. This top trend line goes through these two top pivot areas. You can even turn this down, but it's a recognizable channel, so I'm going to use that level up there. And I think we get up there before any significant move back down. So I think we get back up there to that trend line, which is 83, 70. So maybe another, we'll call it 30 points. 30 points higher. And we get back up there, and then I'll be watching it. But at that point, are we going to be sucked into the tractor beam, which is the all-time highs here? Once we get close enough, the people are going to start, just biding their time for a move back up to the highs. Sell in May and go away. Well, the first 2 days of May here, June. June is supposed to be one of the worst months of a very good year. It's not like a bad year. Some people are bringing out some negative looks at the market just based off of being a negative out of a very, what's the worst of the best. Very, very hard to choose. It still could go higher, just to not, I don't put too much into that sell in May, go away crap here. I put a lot into divergences and starting to see the momentum shift, the volume. I put a lot into that, understanding trends. Now, do we take out? We've taken out that recent high, and I could see that we're stalling underneath that 80 line, so there could be that divergence. I think tomorrow, the next day, could be a pivotal day. This week could be pivotal. Literally. We could pivot out off of this trend line. What's the market doing right now? S&P's up, no, it's Baidu. S&P's down $1.25. 1.5 now, off 1.5. The S&P 500, which is trading right here underneath the VWAP. I don't know. The news comes out, it goes either way. Goes either way on this. All right, so we got a question in the room here, talking about options. So go up to the top of your day trading radio dashboards. You have the audio levels over here, all your indicators, your news, your trade alerts and stuff. I'll give people a review on this while I'm on it. As you can see, we have Tradeometer. All right, so this is the Rambot. This is the video stream right now. But we're going to go up here to the playbook. We're going to go up to the forum, actually. It's a members forum only. Click on that. And then if you're not logged in, you'll see a log up here, and just log in with your screen name, your username for Day Trading Radio, and your same password. Everything's connected. It's a seamless, it's a seamless connection. All right. So here's the playbook. Important to go through that. That's all our trading setups that we go through. Paul wants to get rid of the daily Dixie morning news reports. We saved everything. So you go down, you'll find a lot of stuff on here, playbooks, and you feel free to use it. If you're a member out there, feel free to use it. I got to get people to use this. Just no one knows about it really. It's just there when we put things out, we put it in there for storage. So there's a lot of educational information, but you can have conversations in here, and it's just like a regular chat room. Chat board, So here we go down here. It's a DTR after hour shows, and here you go, option shows. So we have option shows. We have trader spotlights. So these are traders that are expert traders that we interview to learn more about their trading style. So you could open up that, and there might be an options trader on that. So boy, K-Rod, Trader Spotlight, Tight Stops, Keldar. These are great traders. Going all the way back. I mean, this goes back to 2012. We even have stuff before that. But underneath that one thing right here, you see option shows. Someone's viewing it right now. Wow. That might be you. So again, all these options shows, all this is option education. These are hours long of information. Option school with dial F and trade for pay, calendar spreads, dial F and trade for pay, credit spreads. All right, some of the stuff is advanced, but a lot of it's basics too. Option school 4, options preschool 3, calls, covered calls, and other option information. Preschool options. Look at this. Someone had already put this together. This is the most basic. Basically covers beginning option concepts and call options. This is really good stuff. Let's see.
Joel, are we? I'll let Joel get it.
All right, there's music in the background.
Okay. Drought is bad. That's basically what your rain check is doing. The die is trying to explain. Does that help you?
I think so.
Go ahead, because that's what we want from each of you, right. And Patty Cakes, you too.
That's great. Listening back at this is just amazing. I'm very happy to hear that, that type of, family attitude. We help, traders helping other traders. And we try to encourage those shows. So if you want more shows like that, request them. It's easy enough to get people to do these shows. I mean, people love to teach and pass on their knowledge. So we just need people to request that, get the fire under our butts. And what's an expert? That's a good point. Because the market's always changing. But just to be an expert is to understand, is to have more of a base, better than the basic knowledge, but understand that, to be an expert, you have to understand that there is no experts. That's probably, it's probably some kind of weird play on words like that. Because everything's always changing. Nothing's perfect. It's not a science, but it is very close to that. Gospel. You know what? There is no best bet this week, and I purposely actually said, I'm not seeing any best bets this week. I want to get through the first couple days, and then put out a video, and then I was going to actually do one today. So, as of today, I really let's talk about this right now. Let's talk about this. The best bet as of today. Going into tomorrow, I do like this Stanley Black & Decker a lot. Now, it's $142, but I think it's a great options play. It gives you enough time. It's in a falling wedge pattern. We just almost put a double bottom in. Not a quite double bottom divergence. Not a perfect divergence, But we did have this, this was a great looking stock going the last couple of years. So this pullback is going to be found to be, there's something of value in this level down here. My guess is that because of the pattern, the oversold level in the daily, the hourly probably not. Well, the hourly is actually starting to turn back up too. I think there's a lot of positives on this chart. We actually had a nice wedge pattern back here and a breakout, and it looks like we might have a wedge pattern starting to form here again. At least a little downward channel. So I kind of like this one. This is one, I picked up the calls today on this. Like to get a pop. I think we can actually move back up to the trend line up here. 147. So a nice 5-point move would be be perfect. That's a reasonable move. Considering the big pattern tells us that we could break out up into the 160s. Yeah, Viljar, exactly. This is counting cards. This is calculated betting. There's it's understanding when you go to a casino, and there's a method. If you're gonna go to the casino and try to walk out with some money, then you try to play play the games that give you the best odds, and you stick to the rules that people have tried for years and years and years to beat the house. And there's certain ways of doing
ES
things.
Tradeometer overbought.
And I think that high probability setup could be a blanket statement across everything you do. Everything between sports to gambling to life. If you're going to try to make something and do something and be successful at it, you have to take the appropriate and correct route. There's someone that's done it before you, and they can map it out, and they can tell you what the best route is because they've done it before, or you're doing it, and you realize that you've you've made that turn before. You've driven the car without oil in it too long. Certain things you're going to learn not to do after the first times experiencing bad things from it. So you start to become an expert and recognize things over. It just takes time. It takes a lot of time to realize that. And again, you could see this is going up to roulette table here. All right, you could say I want to bet red. I want to bet black, red. You would think black, or if black came in, you would black. So I mean, you're putting your faith into some things that are trying to take emotion out of the trade. I think the emotional part of trading is a downfall to traders. So something like this, an indicator like the tradeometer, is going to kind of eliminate the emotions and just show you what mathematically is happening underneath the market. Now, your part that comes in is you have to analyze the current state of the market. Is it being affected by certain things that are going to cause a normal reaction or normal pulse, beat, whatever you want to call it, of the market to continue to trigger perfect setups like you get here? Or is there going to be something that's going to throw us out of our rhythm and work against, maybe push this out of a range? Because when the market's in a rhythm, you have to recognize that and take advantage of it. Imagine taking each one of these trades. You'd be sitting pretty, right now after the last just couple hours of just hanging out here. 44 to 46, back down to 44, and this one probably maybe would have failed, but now you're holding long. I mean, you'd be making money right now. It's just, that's the hard part. The hard part is understanding, like, all right, the dealer's hot here. Do I jump in here, or does that mean the dealer's going to get cold right when I jump in here? That's a mental game that you have to play as a trader. Some people have it great. Some people could just go into the line of fire and just do it. They have no emotion. They do it. They know what they're. Some people don't. They're always question. I think I'm waiting for the worst case scenario that happens sometimes. It holds you back on a trade. I don't mean to. That's why sometimes it is better to automate things and give us a pure signal like this. I mean, this is great. Signal is absolutely fantastic right now. Holy crap. See? Now, me. Oh, God. I tried to place an order there, and then something, you hear that boing. Boing. Something didn't work. I don't have my account logged in on the platform because I restarted everything. But I would have taken the short here, because if you do have that, if you're watching what just happened, you have it right there. Perfect tradeometer setup. Perfect again. Wild in here. Stating the important facts of size does matter. Yeah. Size matters, and not having to worry about money matters. That matters. Absolutely. I think that's all part of it, right? Right. So getting back to best bets for tomorrow and the rest of the week, let's go over a few of those. Let me pause here for a second, play you a tune, have a couple bites of sushi, top me off here. We still have plenty of time to hang here. But we'll talk about the concept of money matters, and size does matter, and the best bet coming right up here. Start the recording a little bit late, but if you're listening to Day Trading Radio tonight, you got all that information. But my second best bet going to tomorrow, and I really did like this setup. I just came across it. Showed up as a divergence scan on the 9-3. Divergence signal here in March, divergence signal here in April, small move, but then a visual divergence, a very pure, ultimate divergence. The kind of the divergence that we live for right here, and a nice big move. And remember, the thing about the divergence is it will give you a bigger move in the direction of the divergence. If this is the buy divergence, see the words pointing? It's going to give you a direction of a bigger move in a direction than the average recent moves. So we know we're going to get a bias to the upside here on a divergence, and we're just about measuring that out. Now we got overbought and pulled back, but this is our first pullback since that divergence. Holding off the lows, possible double bottom, but we have a little divergence here showing up on the 9-3. And this is to be the 9-3 up here. And you can see the slight higher low. This is not taking into consideration that 20 line, which I find important because we always want to have first stage underneath the 20, second stage above the 20. Same divergence here, sign up lower low and lower low. Lower low on the price and a higher low on the stochastics, but very barely. I mean, you could see it, but very barely seeing that. So these tend to work out really good. It's easy to identify these divergences, and that's what we love. But we'll continue to search for those. But these tend to work out good. So I'm liking this a lot, JCI. I want to look at the options on this. It's 30. Well, you know what? It's cheap enough to really just deal with stock on this. Look at the options for the hell of it. All right? Look at the options for the hell of it. All right. 11 days remaining for the June 15th. 11 days. All right, so if we're expecting this to move back up, 35 would be an interesting level. I could see us getting to 35. Look at the options here. 20 cents? Wow. Not much volume on it. But 20 cents. 35s. 11 days. The 34s are 54 cents, and if you're looking for a move up here, I'd probably go with those. They have the most. Well, they don't have a lot of volume behind this. The bid and the ask, since it's a 5-cent spread, so you have to deal with that. That's the problem with these. It's probably better with stock on this one. I think I'm going to deal with the stock on this one. 11 days here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It took about 11 days to get from this low to this high. Do we get up to that trend line up here? We could blow through 35. If we could blow through 35 up to 36, within 11 days, then we'd be talking worth getting at 19 cents. I might get some. What the hell? I might end up just taking a gamble on this, but I'm also going to get a stock on this too. So I'm going to get both on this. See how the other ones work out. Nothing worked as good as what worked great today? BMY options. I don't have my platform up right now, but we were up over 100% on the options we picked up today, around $50 when BMY Bristol Myers Squibb. Squid. All right, so JCI on our screen for tomorrow. And again, looking back at the tradeometer tonight, pretty much flawless. Buy signal, sell signal, buy signal, sell. Well, buy signal, sell signal. I was going to take that. I actually put the order in on that, and it got rejected because I didn't have my account logged in. It automatically logs out after a certain time. But this would have worked out, which I'm happy to say. with a stop above that VWAP. I think it's a good trade. I think it's a good trade still, you know. And again, short-term action right now. So what time is it here? It's about 10 o'clock. I should, you know, just send that out, a couple updates. Let me see. I'm still eating my sushi. Still looking for my. Well, I do have some more stocks. Let's go over these stocks fast, and then I'll turn it off and I'll work on my monitors again. I still got to get some work done here. But you know me, I love hanging out with you guys. MKC McCormick. Downward channel line. 98.90 is where our buy signal is going to be. I think I'm going to put that on the HPS watch list. I didn't put it on there yet. Remind me tomorrow to look at this list, and I need to get this on. They put a tune on just for a second here. This is a song I want to hear. Anyway, check it out. Anyway, I left off with McCormick here. And again, just waiting for that. A couple more stocks, and then we'll get going here. BLL, still holding on to this. I still like it. Still like it on this lower trend line, but it is, you know, we're oversold now. I want to probably give it till tomorrow. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you need to pop. Morgan Stanley, not bad. 200 EMA breakdown, channel line bounce. Same thing here, Goldman Sachs. We had that 200 period moving average breakdown, channel line bounce, push back up. This is actually a little weaker than Morgan Stanley. But it was showing some strength early on today. Out of the gate, it gapped up and then kind of just drifted all day. And as you can see, it didn't really recover much by the end of the day. This morning it looked pretty good, but then it drifted. Fro, kill the Irishman. Kill the Irishman. I will remember that one. That's a recommendation. What was the other one I wanted to watch tonight? Last Dragon. I want to watch Barry Gordy's Last Dragon. Yes, sir. I do want to watch that. My fantasy. Yeah, I used to walk through Chinatown and go to when I was studying martial arts. I remember it was an interesting point. My instructor, I will leave all names out of it, but my instructor once hurt this one kid, you know, punched him really hard, or he got hurt something, and he went over to the instructor, and he was doing some bone setting technique on him, which is a kind of a Chinese art, bone setting. It wasn't that he had a broken bone or anything, but take bruises out and stuff, and he gave him a list of ingredients to go down to Chinatown. I said, I want that list too. I said, give me that. That's what I want to do. I want to go down, get a bunch of ingredients, you know. So I got the list of ingredients. He told me to go down. It was like, I wish I had it today. It was you know, you go to a real Chinese herbalist in Chinatown, and it was like shavings from an antler, deer antler shavings. It was straight out of a witch book, I tell you. It was, you know, some herbs. It was he made a paste. He made this paste and he put it on his arm. This is, we had it in a jar. You know, he prepared it and we had it in a jar at the school. And then when someone would get hurt, he put this paste on it. And, I don't know. I don't remember what happened from that. If it helped or not, but I just loved the idea of being on a quest, looking for these medicinal herbs down in Chinatown. Those back streets back then. This was back in the early '80s. Yeah, I would say this is this is after the '80s. Probably the early '90s. It was '88 to '97. You know, maybe 10-year span. It's when I had this martial arts school. 88. Yeah, about 88. Anyway. All right, so Goldman Sachs, we talked about that one. JCI would like it. SWK would like it. The First Solar, FSLR. Someone mentioned that today. I was looking at it. I wrote it down for some reason. It came down to the 200 period moving average. Blew through that. So yeah, that's why we put it down on the sheet, because if it does pull back to the lower trend line, it'll be a perfect opportunity for a 200 EMA channel line bounce. So that's what we'd like on that First Solar. And let's see if I have anything else. We're scribbled down on my notes here today. OPGN. What the hell happened to this one? All right, so I wrote this one down. I was looking at it a little. I got a little of this. Nothing's really going on with that. I saw a little. Oh, you know what this one is? They're going to have an FDA. No, they're going to do some kind of testing that's going to be released at the end of the week. Again, I saw this thing from $100 down. I said, oh, you know what? I got sucked right into it. I was like, oh, FDA approval coming up. It was $100 and $22. Volume starting to come into it. I jumped into it early this morning as a total gamble. Nothing happens. Nothing's happening to it. That's it on that. Vero here came back good. Jeffrey's conference on Vero this Wednesday. We're looking forward to that. 210's the big number on Vero. By July, something's going to go on with Vero, so look for that. All right, that's it on the video. I'm going to send the video out. See you in the markets.